It's time for a Royal Rumble! In the red corner, Dimash Kudaibergen. In the blue corner, Placido Domingo. And the stage is the Pearl Fishers. They're not fighting. This is going to be beautiful, I'm sure. Hello wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I'm a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. I've not done riffs in a while, it seems to just be like this sound, but I don't care. I quite enjoy it. I call it Ghost Dog. Now, if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content like my Vocal Anatomy 101 CDs where we discuss how the voice works. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, the last Dimash video that I did, I had a lot of comments asking me to go and check this out. It's Placido Domingo and Dimash Kudaibergen singing something from the Pearl Fishers. It's the duet Au fond du temple son. I hope I'm saying that right. I just did an accent for that, so it better be right. And weirdly, there's been quite a few comments like being like, oh, he's not going to like it, or oh, it's not the best, or, you know, there's like a weird vibe on this one, and I don't know why. So that piqued my interest. So we're going to go and check this out and see like what the controversy is. I bet there's none, but anyway, just putting it down there before we start. Let's go. Oh, okay, already this part of Dimash's voice I absolutely adore. The lower part, I know that folk go crazy for the high notes, like Dimash can sing into the rafters, and I love that too, but there's something about a resonant deep end that I just cannot resist. That sounded wrong. You know what I meant. Get your mind out the gutter. This is going to be possibly as strictly opera style as Dimash gets, because I mean he's singing with one of the three tenors, so that's the law. But you're getting a lovely amount of twang, the larynx is lowered, you're getting that anchoring to get that sound nice and boosted. It's just gorgeous. I can't wait to see where this goes. How good does he sound as well? I mean, Placido Domingo is possibly kicking into his 80s, I think. I don't know. I probably should have looked that up before I started. But the strength coming off of that voice, the timbre, it is just... oh, both these voices on toast for me, please. I'm liking the constant circle shape coming from the lip shape between, especially Dimash. It's like, that, who's singing like this. And that's really just to kind of shape that vocal tract and the articulators in a way that keeps everything really standard. Like it's so specific. I absolutely love it. Your articulators go a long way in forming the sound. I mean, that's the part that makes sense of the sound that comes from your larynx, you know? So this lovely round shape is just creating a beautiful amount of resonance. And Placido's vibrato is just really delicious. It's got a kind of a heavy wobble to it now. I'd have to go back and listen to him when he was like younger and see if that's changed, but it's just holds up so well. Nice compressed tongue in there. Some forms of opera coaching or opera tutors will teach you to ball your tongue up into the back of your mouth like that. It creates this kind of sound. It almost forms that roundness because you've got essentially something ball-shaped in the middle of your mouth when you scrunch your tongue up like that. There's a little bit of that coming through. It doesn't look like crazy compressed to me, but it is. There's a bit of compression of that tongue in there. The jaw is really, really like held. It's almost forward. If you jut your jaw forward, you almost get this like underbuilt sound, if you like. So if I go can you hear the difference there? Almost sounds like a larynx is dropping, but if I went then that's both of them together, just creating this beautiful, rich, strong sound. I'm loving it. So there was like a teeny weeny moment or two in there where he let go of that opera build, which is super dug in, very, very heavy, very grounded, very anchored. And he let it go and become this softer, kind of more aspirate sound. Not hugely common when you're singing like straight opera. So that was unusual to me, but absolutely gorgeous. It kind of modernized it slightly. If you were like back in the day, like an old school opera singer's soft is like a regular singer's like crazy dug in. It's just a big sound. It commands a lot of effort in order to produce it. So sometimes you just have to hold on to it. Whereas he can kind of just release and then lock back in and release and lock back in. It's really impressive. Oh, his vibrato is just beautiful. There's this real straight line to his body here. You can see it kind of coming up through his neck. The chin is kind of in almost. Just holding that sound kind of in a higher place than Dimash. Dimash is kind of. He's holding everything kind of forward and to the front of his jaw. He's almost the other direction. The amount of effort he is putting in to create this strong sound can be seen all over his body. He's actually like vibrating. He is tilting so hard. Your thyroid cartilage produces the vibrato sound by tilting forward and oscillating the vocal folds and just getting that distinction between pitch and If you then add in anchoring, you add in twang, you add in a drop larynx, you add in all sorts of things, you get that operatic tone on top of it, and it produces something a lot stronger. He is digging in even further than that, and it's actually creating this like wobble in his entire body. It's really good. I love this. There's something about this that is so endearing to me. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like singing with your hero, or watching someone sing with their hero, or at least they're like the icon in their field, and you're getting like distinct choices and characters out of the two. Dimash is doing it very, very by the book. Like he's like, oh my god, I'm singing with him. I am going to make sure that this is perfect. And then you've got Placido, who had a long career in this genre, and he is kind of just going with it. He's just going with the flow. So there's slightly less pronunciation from Placido. I mean, remember, he is an old man. So the very notion that he is getting up and doing this to this degree is in and of itself super impressive. I am not taking anything away from him by saying that his pronunciation's like less pronounced than Dimash's. Their harmonies are absolutely perfect. They are so well blended. They have the same swells, the same pushes, the same kind of stress points, if you like. It just matches up superbly, absolutely beautifully, and I don't know, I absolutely love it. Oh, listen to that low note there. I'm a sucker for the low notes. That was super grounded, but still quite bright. So even though the larynx is lowered in an opera style anyway, in order to create that gorgeous, beautiful resonance and kind of swimmy sound, if you like, it still sounded bright. So it's, I don't know if that was the right note, but it just sounded, it had a lot of lift to it, and it carried really nicely. Sometimes when we get down into the bottom ends of our range, and I think Placido is a tenor, well, he was in the 3 tenors, so I'm assuming he's a tenor. That's quite a low note for a tenor, and an old man to hit. So the fact that it was so lifted and bright and pressed and beautiful, I can't. Dimash's high notes, gorgeous. They're absolutely soaring here. I think that they complement each other so well, in that because they're both singing with the same kind of intensity of twang, one isn't coming out over the other. If you use oral twang, which is where your epiglottis comes over the vocal folds but doesn't close, so you get this kind of condensed airflow thickening up the vocal folds, it actually creates a frequency between 2 and 4 kilohertz, which is the resonant frequency of the ear canal. So to a human being, it sounds really loud and intense. So if you had one person doing it and another person not doing it, you would hear the twang, the other person would be absolutely drowned out, especially to your ear. Maybe not in volume, but to your ear it would. So because they're both applying it at the same time, you're getting this blend. You're getting an intense sound, but you're getting it equally from both parties, and it just creates a beautiful balance. Oh, sorry for the science. Orchestra are amazing too. I'm liking the soft, kind of smooth onsets here. You get this lead into the sound. So you get this softness, but it's also coming in fully phonated. It's really, really nice. It's very, very common with opera. That's kind of how they start. You always get this sound. It almost like a car passing you really fast or a bee flying past your face. This kind of sound. Very, very beautiful to listen to. There's glottal stops on the end, so you get this kind of, and it chops the end. I really like that. Gives a really nice kind of dynamic movement to the sound. Delish. Oh, that was gorgeous. Tails off. So gorgeous. There is, Placido keeps kind of turning his head slightly away from the mic, so you get this little kind of cutting sound. Like if I was to start talking and then I did this, you can kind of hear the sound signal doesn't get picked up as well. It's not that he is singing quieter or anything, it's literally just the mic's not picking up the signal as well because his face is turning kind of more than it should, maybe. I'm not sure why. I don't know if there's lyrics somewhere or something, but he is going and he's deferring to something. He keeps looking at it. I don't know whether it's like Dimash. I don't think it is though, because he's not looking at him. I don't know what it is, but there's something that he is focusing his attention on that's sometimes taking him away from the mic. So it's nothing to do with his vocals, it's everything to do with mic signal. Oh, God. Here's the conspiracy theorist in me. I could not see Placido's mouth doing what the vocal was delivering. I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to play it, I'm going to see if they match up. Again, this could just be that something happened on stage at that time and then they've just went back and corrected it. I don't know. Here we go. I'm going to get so many comments for this. But I have to live in my truth, okay? I have to say what I see. And what I saw there looked like it wasn't in sync. I prepare myself for the volley of abuse. The blend of their voices, I have said this already, but I cannot compliment them enough on how gorgeous these sounds are. When we go up in our range, our vocal folds will inevitably thin out. That's just what happens as they stretch to make the pitch higher. Your vocal folds thin out. So the fact that one is going up the way and thinning and the other is going down the way and thickening up, but you don't get this disconnect. They still manage to keep it together. And I suppose that's just the operatic tone that's running through it. It's the thread that keeps them together is just sublime. Oh, that was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That last part there where they were really going for it and holding the sustained sound. So beautifully done. Very well anchored. Anchoring basically creates like a scaffolding around the larynx so that when you're doing more intense voice work, it doesn't waver and just keeps everything nice and steady. And they were both anchoring super well. I mean, you could see it, they were just rigid. That lovely circular sound again, so important to get that sound as resonant as possible, create as big a space as you can whilst also keeping a form to it. And that's what the lips were doing with that circular sound, circular shape. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure that, you know, Dimash is just like, what just happened? This is my life. I sing with one of the three tenors now. Like, mind blowing. Gorgeous job. Absolutely loved it. Want to see more from them. Want an album. Want a live tour, want the full shebang. So if you like that reaction, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? I don't know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and bye. I was not anchoring, okay? I wasn't doing the whole recipe. It was just a bit, just a tickle, a suggestion. Anyway, bye. Love you.